Hello, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. Hold on really quick. There's this headline that just came out, and I'm not sure if that's an old headline or not, but I thought the cable might move on that a little bit, and it slumped just a bit, but the market's not really responding to it, I guess. So I guess we'll just continue to watch it. I would have to say that if the trade talks, the Brexit trade talks were called off, they're really called off. Shoot, I'm about ready to lose my microphone. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Stand by. Don't go anywhere. It was working so well for so long. Sorry guys, bear with me. Okay, sorry about that. My microphone. I'd have to show you guys my the way that my microphone is put into my desk. The desk is a little strange how it's constructed. It's custom made, so it's the way I put my brace on doesn't really work too well on my desk, and it sometimes comes loose, very rarely, but today, as I'm speaking, seems to be the time it really wants to come loose. So you just have to bear with me. I'm going to get through this really quick, and then I'll have to adjust it later. All right, so I would think if talks were called off, we would see a sell-off not only in the cable, but we'd see a sell-off in the euro too. So in other words, we'd see a lot of euro or US dollar strength coming through the market. That's just not the case. So I'm kind of believing that these were old headlines that just came out. They're like sometimes Bloomberg redistributes headlines, because the first headline was Barnier says frost talks are constructive. So it's like one says it's constructive, and then the other one says that they shouldn't be ongoing. So I don't know. It's pretty choppy. But let's take a look at the pound, where we're at. So we're obviously struggling around resistance. This is the trend line resistance we drew from earlier today. So if we're below 130.20, you've got to be a little careful with longs, right? The euro dollar is coming up to what I would consider triangle resistance. This is going to come in around the 118 level. So again, you have to be a little careful with longs. That means dollar shorts you have to be a little careful with, which here's the dollar index. You can see the dollar index is paused right at what I consider pretty strong support. This is at 93.25. It's like we've been here all day long. We haven't moved off of it, but we've been here. So I'm going to warn you that I think that if you're short the dollar, you have to be a little careful with it right now. Okay. Something that I tweeted a little bit earlier, and I want to take this opportunity to kind of explain it a little bit, is the Euro Mexican Peso. So the Euro Mexican Peso had a very aggressive bounce off the 200-day moving average today, and we're about ready to put like an outside day candle. I mean, if we close above 25 or somewhere in this neighborhood, I would have to assume that you want to be buying euro peso dips. Okay. But it's not just the euro Mexican peso. It's, look at the euro Aussie. The euro Aussie is very strong, and we're about ready to take on the 200-day moving average. Okay. So big breakout happening here above 166. We haven't been at 166 since June. So since the beginning of summer. So we have this big breakout in the euro Aussie, a big move higher in the euro Mexican peso. So if you're wondering why the euro is strong at this moment, I think it's a lot of cross rate effect. So you're seeing that, the cross rate keeping the euro bid for now. But because we're at resistance, I think that the euro will tail off a little bit. You're going to start to see, you know, the dollar firm up, but that means the dollar is going to firm up against probably other things too. So that's why I think you have to be really careful with the pound US dollar long. If I had to guess, later on tonight, we're going to do this. The euro is going to do this, right? Aussie dollar is at risk of doing this. You know, Kiwi's probably going to be doing something like that. Dollar Canadian probably doing something like this towards channel resistance. You know, so I think that the dollar looks like it's going to recover here. But the one thing that's holding it up at the moment is the euro is strong because it's being bid up by crosses. So you're seeing that euro Aussie, euro Mexican peso. Speaking of the euro Aussie, this is a currency pair that I actually want to own. I don't own it right at this moment. But if I get an opportunity like tonight in Asia, I might do this, you know, try to pick it up on a dip. That's what I'm thinking here. Because, you know, if we get a foothold above the 200-day moving average, you know, we are probably going to see, you know, 170, maybe even higher than that. So and what does that all mean? Well, that all actually means that we'd have some risk off in equities as well. So we have to be careful that if you're long stocks, long risk, that would signal risk off. You know, euro Mexican peso going higher, euro Aussie going higher. Those are all the things that we need to be taking into account right now. Jason says, hey, Blake, any thoughts on the weakness in the dollar? There was positive news on the euro. Was there positive news on the euro overnight? Again, this is just me addressing that specific comment and question, Jason. I think the euro is just bid up on crosses. But again, you know, we're at 118. So as long as we stay below 118, I wouldn't be chasing it up here. I just wouldn't. Another thing I want to take note of. Here is gold. Gold channel triangle resistance. Okay. And if you really want, and this is, if you really are like, I really want to short the euro, you can. I mean, if you want to. But what I would be thinking at this point is, if I get a move lower in gold, which, you know, that's what I'm obviously looking for right now. If I get a move lower in gold through triangle support, that's going to tell me that I need to be shorting the euro or buying dollars, I guess is the other way to look at it. Okay. Guys, we're getting really close to inflection point. Inflection point on what? I think in a big move, you know, whether it's, you know, election related, Brexit related, you can see everything's tightening up. So it's important just to be very patient. I was telling one of the traders in the chat room, Elias had asked me about the Aussie New Zealand. I'm like, yeah, I'm still long a little Aussie New Zealand, but my positions are really small right now. They're very small. I don't want to get upside down too aggressive in this market, because the opportunities are not here right now. So you can't, I was mentioning this earlier on the Face webinar. If you get into a trade, just try not to get yourself into too much trouble, because there's not opportunities to get yourself out, not at this moment. But I have a feeling that volatility is going to start to explode here in the next couple of days. So you want to be prepared for it and ready for it, right? All right, guys and gals. Hey, for those of you that are ForexAnalytix subscribers, thank you so much for your continued support. I always appreciate each and every one of you. I'm glad you listen in. Really, thank you for listening into this daily roundup. And if you're listening to this after the fact, make sure you try us out. You know, it's only $1 for 10 days to try out ForexAnalytix, so make sure you do so. All right, guys and gals, have a great afternoon and a great evening, and I'll see you in the chat room or in the Face webinar tomorrow morning. All right, talk to you later, guys. Thanks, Brock. Thanks, Ariel.